Nothing about the narwhal follows the rules of biology. It is a whale with a tooth growing straight through its face. A mammal built for deep water that avoids the open ocean. A large animal with no dorsal fin, living beneath shifting ice sheets. Almost every part of its body seems wrong for survival, and yet it has remained almost unchanged for thousands of years. So why has evolution not corrected it? And what happens when an animal survives not by fixing its weaknesses, but by turning them into advantages no other creature can use? To understand why the narwhal should not exist, you have to stop thinking of it as a unicorn of the sea. Strip away the myths, the children's books, the smiling illustrations. What remains is a cold water whale living at the edge of what mammals can tolerate. Adult narwhals reach lengths of 4 to 5 meters and can weigh over 1,600 kilograms. They are not small. They are not fragile in size. And yet their bodies look strangely incomplete. Most whales carry a tall dorsal fin, a stabilizer that helps with balance and speed. The narwhal has none. From above, its back is smooth and rounded, almost unfinished. In open ocean, that would be a serious disadvantage. A dorsal fin helps prevent rolling, improves maneuverability, and reduces energy loss during long swims. Removing it should make a whale less efficient. But the narwhal does not live in open ocean. For most of the year, narwhals move through Arctic waters sealed by thick ice. From above, the surface looks solid and lifeless. From below, it is a shifting ceiling, constantly cracking, closing, and reforming. Breathing holes appear and vanish without warning. Large sheets grind against each other with enough force to crush boats. In this world, a tall fin would be a liability. Anything that sticks up risks scraping against ice, tearing skin, or trapping the animal in a space too tight to escape. Narwhals slip through this maze silently. Their smooth backs let them pass beneath low ice shelves with centimeters to spare. Footage from underwater cameras shows them moving slowly and deliberately, tilting their bodies to slide through narrow gaps. There is no room for sudden turns, no space for panic. Everything about their movement suggests an animal designed for precision, not speed. Their skin adds to the strangeness. It is pale, mottled grey, sometimes almost white, blending into the broken light beneath the ice. Up close, it looks soft, almost delicate. Unlike many whales, narwhals lack a thick dorsal ridge or heavy surface scarring. Researchers handling tagged animals have noted how sensitive their skin appears, reacting quickly to touch and temperature changes. In warmer water, this would be a problem. In near-freezing Arctic seas, it becomes part of their awareness. Then there is the tusk. In males, a single tooth grows straight through the upper lip, twisting into a long spiral that can reach 3 meters in length. It is not hollow. It is not decorative. It is a real tooth exposed to seawater, filled with millions of microscopic nerve endings. No other whale has anything like it. No other mammal carries a tooth like this into adulthood. From an evolutionary perspective, it looks like a mistake. The tusk is heavy. It requires energy to grow. It is exposed to damage. Broken tusks have been found in the wild, snapped cleanly near the base. In most animals, an exposed structure like this would reduce survival, not improve it. And yet, tusked males are common. Females even prefer them. Narwhals do not use the tusk the way people expect. They do not joust like deer. They do not stab prey. Drone footage shows males raising their tusks and crossing them gently, almost like slow, careful fencing. Scientists call this tusking behavior, and it appears more social than violent. That only deepens the mystery. If the tusk is not for fighting, why keep it? Their behavior adds another layer of unease. Narwhals are quiet whales. They do not breach often. They do not slap the surface. They travel in small, tight groups and rise carefully at breathing holes rather than in open water. Killer whales patrol the edges of their range, and when they appear, narwhals retreat deeper under the ice instead of fleeing into the open sea. They hide rather than fight. Every part of the narwhal seems designed around avoidance. Avoiding predators, avoiding open water, avoiding attention. It survives not by dominance, but by disappearing into a place few other large animals can enter. The deeper you look, the clearer it becomes that the narwhal was never meant to live by the usual rules of whales. And the tusk, the most obvious sign that something is wrong, is not a weapon. It is a warning, a signal that the narwhal is operating in a sensory world we barely understand. That idea falls apart when scientists examine the tusk closely. When researchers first examined narwhal tusks under microscopes, they found something no one expected. The surface is not smooth and dead like most teeth. It is porous, threaded with millions of tiny channels that lead directly to nerves inside. This tooth is alive. It is one of the most sensitive sensory structures ever found in a mammal. Experiments with captive tusks and tissue samples showed that the nerves respond to changes in water temperature, pressure, and salinity. In simple terms, the narwhal can feel the ocean through its tooth. Where other whales rely heavily on sight and sound, the narwhal adds an entirely different sense. It does not just move through water, it reads it. Under Arctic ice, this changes everything. Beneath the surface, light is unreliable. Snow, ice, and fractured flows scatter what little sunlight exists. For much of the year, darkness dominates. In this world, vision becomes a weak sense. The narwhal's tusk allows it to detect subtle changes in water caused by moving ice, nearby animals, or shifting currents. Footage from drones and under-ice cameras shows narwhals swimming with their tusks angled forward, passing slowly beneath the ice like probes testing the space ahead. This may be how they find breathing holes that are invisible from a distance. A small opening in the ice slightly alters salinity and temperature in the surrounding water. To a human diver, this would be undetectable. To a narwhal, it may feel like a signpost. The missing dorsal fin suddenly makes sense here. Without it, the narwhal can swim directly beneath ice sheets without scraping its back. Thermal imaging and satellite tag data show that narwhals often travel within just a few meters of solid ice, far closer than most whales ever approach. A fin would limit those movements. Its absence is not a flaw, it is clearance. Narwhals are compact for their length, wrapped in thick blubber that can make up more than 40% of their mass. This insulation protects them from water that sits just below freezing. Their muscles are dense and efficient, built for slow movement rather than bursts of speed. They are not chasers, they are endurance animals. Narwhals can dive to depths of over 1,500 meters, descending into water darker than night. Tags attached by researchers have recorded dives lasting more than 20 minutes, with long gliding phases where the animal barely moves. Like other deep diving whales, their heart rate slows, and oxygen-rich blood is directed toward the brain and vital organs. But unlike open ocean divers, narwhals often perform these dives directly beneath ice, where surfacing is not always an option. This makes mistakes fatal. That may explain their behavior. Narwhals are cautious to the point of tension. They avoid noise. They avoid open water. When killer whales enter their range, satellite tracking shows narwhals retreating rapidly into dense ice fields, even though it restricts their movement. They choose confinement over exposure. Video evidence supports this. In rare footage captured by Arctic research teams, narwhals move in tight formation, surfacing one by one at small holes in the ice, exhaling quickly before slipping back under. There is no splashing, no display, just efficiency. Even feeding reflects this design. Narwhals primarily eat fish and squid, hunting near the seafloor during deep dives. Analyses of stomach contents and beak remains recovered from stranded animals confirm this. They do not rely on speed or aggression. They rely on timing and awareness. Everything about the narwhal points to a life spent navigating invisible boundaries. Ice above, darkness below, pressure all around. It is an animal that survives not by overpowering its world, but by sensing it better than anything else its size. That is what makes the narwhal unsettling. It is not strange because it is poorly adapted. It is strange because it is perfectly adapted to a place humans struggle to even observe. As Arctic ice retreats and shipping noise increases, scientists worry that this balance may not hold. The narwhal's world is quiet, precise, and unforgiving. Change too much of it, and there is nowhere else to go. Nothing about the narwhal is normal, because normal animals do not survive here. If this quietly alien whale rewired its senses just to endure the Arctic, go ahead and like and subscribe. Then discover what happens when intelligence goes even further in Why This Octopus Terrifies the Ocean and Remembers Individual Humans.